what is the world like after graduating? I mean, for you, it's quite different because you've had lots of different opportunities, and you've done lots of different things, and you're working with charities. But on the whole, if you could sort of like maybe sum up your experience or what people maybe have to expect when they graduate.
I think the thing is, when you're in your final years of uni, I think everyone has a very set idea of what graduate life is going to look like. And in many cases, that's a very typical sort of non-pandemic times I'm talking about here. But like people think they're going to be securing like a graduate role. They're going to be working in an office 9 till 5. They sort of think that is like the general structure their life is going to take. Whereas now, like, the employment sector is changing so much. And like, I think one of the positives that has come out of the whole pandemic situation is that people are realizing that the path into graduate life and the path into your career doesn't have to be as set as people seem to think it is. And that's definitely something that rung true for me. So even though I obviously had like a very unique situation where I was dealing with like a fluctuating illness as well, like it's really opened my eyes as to how many different ways there are to get into the sort of field that you want to get into. So like, my advice would probably be like, it's good to have expectations, but don't feel like you're stuck with those expectations because you just never know what's going to happen. So don't be afraid to do things a little bit differently. Yeah,
I think there's generally a lot of worry, at least what I've seen in like current third years in terms of the job market and the world that they're going into at the minute. Do you think there's some level of comfort in the fact that many students are entering into the same environment, whether it means that they can now have access to a lot of the same opportunities because a lot of stuff's moving online in terms of interviews and, working from home a bit more, and, there's less of a stress of having to commute or maybe make a big move to somewhere, like a big city. Do you think it's almost leveled the playing field a bit more, or do you think it's maybe limited some of opportunities that have otherwise usually been around?
I think it's definitely leveled the playing field. Like in so many ways, working from home and having the flexibility on the part of employers has actually inadvertently removed a lot of the barriers that people can face. So when I graduated back then, all those years ago, even though it wasn't that many years ago, I'm not that old yet. One of the biggest struggles I had was finding a job where I could work from home, because that was something that I needed for my health condition. And it was so difficult to trawl through all the job sites and just trying to find opportunities where you could work from home. And it got to a point where like I wasn't even pursuing jobs that I was particularly interested in or that they were in the sector that I wanted to go into. I was just trying to find work from home. So fast forward to now, even if this situation isn't forever, and even if the work from home situation isn't forever, just people having that way in and having that barrier removed, I think that could have a really positive impact on a lot of people.
Yeah. I think choosing to be a writer as well is a great way of working from home.
I've essentially tried to shape my career where I can like plan my working day around watching This Morning and like staying in my pajamas, like taking breaks whenever I want. I had it all sussed out right from the beginning. Did you see
the pantomime? I think it was on This Morning that they did. Is that what?
Stop watching it. It was. Oh, I so badly wanted to be like, oh, this is so great and so festive, but like I actually had to stop watching it because it was making me feel a bit ragey.
Oh dear, I thought it was a bit of fun, but anyway.
I do like Alison Hammond as a fairy. I can get on board with that.
Okay, yeah, we can get on board with at least a little bit of that experience, but yeah.